Time for the 49ers Rush podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? The 49ers come on top. It was rough. Let's just be very, very honest. Ugly game, especially in the first half. The dominating performance by the defense in the second half. We'll break that down. Steve Wilks, I'm just telling you right now, I am a complete hats off to Steve Wilks guy. I was ready to come out with pitchforks after the first half. But that dude came out, corrected the ship. We'll talk about that. But as of now, the number one thing that we got to walk away with, the 49ers are in sole possession of the NFC West. They are atop of the division. They are 1-0 against the division with a perfect 2-0 record. Was it as dominating a performance as we would have liked, as we expected? No. But way more positives than negatives, and still more to work on. This team, as with any team in the NFL, is far from a finished product. Are they a great team? Yes. Are they the best team? Maybe. Do they still have a ways to grow? Oh my goodness, yes. Offense, defense, special teams, penalty, mindset, execution. Brock Purdy was incredible today. He left a lot out there. 3 gigantic missed throws, 2 of which would have been walk-in touchdowns, 1 to Ayuk, 1 to Debo, another missed throw to Jawan Jennings, but still an amazing game. 93.1 passer rating from Brock Purdy. That was incredible. And, we're going to go through, we're going to do game balls, MVPs, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to get to a lot of your questions. Clayton, the man behind the scenes, he's running it. He'll jump in and out. We're going to go over our predictions, what we hit, what we missed. But let me start off by just saying, sincerely, the faithful, we apologize to you, Mr. Isaiah Oliver. It is very reasonable to say 3 of the biggest plays of this game, whether that's offense, defense, whatever, at least 3 of the top 6 plays were all made by Isaiah Oliver in clutch situations. Now, the 49ers rolled out early with Ambry Thomas. He was the starter outside. Demo was inside. After the very first drive, there was an issue with Samuel Womack's knee. So then Oliver gets his due. He's called up. Demo goes back outside. Demo had a great game. I know he gave up some underneath stuff, but Demo played incredible. Isaiah Oliver, comes out, has a missed tackle, gives up a first down, and the dude's laying on the ground. All he had to do was touch him. He didn't even do it. Then he goes out and gets a face mask call that's ridiculous. Injured a dude. Just hands high, right off the line of scrimmage. Can't do that as a corner. Another free first down, and it's just looking like, oh my gosh, this is who Isaiah Oliver is going to be. But then he goes out and makes this incredible tackle to force a 4th and 2 at midfield. It was the 49ers' first stop. That was in the third quarter. It was the 49ers' first stop. Very next drive, gets an interception off a tip ball. Was he in great coverage? No. But he seized the moment and got the first turnover of the game. Then, late in the fourth quarter, with 2 minutes left, the Rams go for it on 4th and 1. He freaking blitzes straight through the C gap, blows up the play, didn't make the tackle. Bosa got the tackle and the tackle for loss. Turnover on downs. And so you could honestly say Isaiah Oliver was responsible for ending not 1, not 2, but 3 drives by himself. And I have not been a fan by any stretch. I went to all the training camps. I went to the preseason, all those things. No, he did not fit. But even today with Samuel Womack out with injury, I got to tell you right now, that dude was making plays on special teams, thumping people. I thought he got injured. He hit somebody so hard. That's what I wanted to see. And if you watch the film breakdown with us this past week, I kept saying 26 don't fit, man. He does not fit the mold, the prototype of what the 49ers want as a defense or an offense. He's not physical. It's not there. He brought it today, man. And so I just got to say, I am very, very, very impressed with just how they play, with how he played. I thought he was awesome. What's up, Tommy? Appreciate the super chat. He says, is the D-line overrated, John? How are the Salamanders 2-0? Now, if we look at just the quarterback hits, we had 6 quarterback hits. That's pretty damn good. Sacks, yeah, that's a problem. We had 1 sack. We also had a roughing the passer penalty. Bosa pulled 2 holding calls against him. So it was funny because, in my notes, if you listen to our preview, I said we'd get 3 sacks, 7 quarterback hits, 1 interception. Well, we got 1 sack, we got 6 quarterback hits, and we got 2 interceptions. I'll take that all day. I would trade 2 sacks for a pick. Yeah, I prefer the interception. That's just the way that it is. So, the first half was gross, disgusting defensively. They only had 3 possessions in the Rams. They only touched the ball 3 times. All 3 of them were over 8-play drives, took the entire time, and they scored on every one of them. And it was just like, what the hell is happening? Well, sometimes you got to make adjustments, and you go in, and you know what, Wilkes, you got to tip your hat to him. Listen to after coming out of the half, okay? And we'll address the first half. I'm not trying to pass that off because that needs to be talked about. Let's figure that out. But, I put out there, on Twitter, and I was just saying, this is where the 49ers are going to figure out what the hell Steve Wilkes is made out of. Because as a DC, you put together a plan, but you're reactionary. As a DC, you're reactionary. You can try to force certain things and whatever else. You have to react to what is given to you, what the offense is trying to do, and you got to take that away. A lot of times that's difficult to do on the sidelines. Once you have time and going through everything, especially with special teams and whatever else, it takes time. So a criticism could be, well, he should have made the adjustments sooner. But listen to the drives after the first half. They go in there, the locker room. He makes all the adjustments. Listen to this. Second half, first 49ers defensive drive. They get their first stop of the game. Isaiah Oliver, the tackle on 3rd down to force 4th down. Second drive of the game, interception, Isaiah Oliver. Third drive of the game, 3 and out. Bosa drew a hold on that one. 4th drive of the game, gave up a field goal. Bend but don't break. 5th drive of the game, you got the interception. 6th drive of the game, turnover on downs. 7th drive of the game, guess what? Yep, another interception. So what else do you want, right? So it's a tale of 2 halves, right? It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Charles Dickens. That's what should be the thumbnail, because it was two different stories is what it was. But for them to make the adjustments that everybody wanted and needed, I think that's huge. I really, really do. Now, excuse me, appreciate all the super chats. Let's get to some of these. Clayton, can you jump up and join us and read a couple of these super chats?
Yeah.
Screaming. So we gotta go ahead. Let's start with Devin.
Awesome. Well, Devin, first of all, thank you for the super chat, my friend. He writes to us, man, Brock lost his 2 touchdown streak, and just to mess with my big brother. That's my 3rd round kicker, though. Keep kicking butt, JC.
So I'll say this. Brock Purdy played well. He should have had that 2nd touchdown. He misread the blitz. Thank you so much. I forgot my water in the lovely Miss Chapman. I was like struggling over here. I sent her the bat signal and she showed up, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Late in the 4th, they brought the all-out 0 blitz. McCaffrey read it correctly because the linebacker blitzed inside. You go where he alleviates his position, the hook to curl zone. Brock threw it out. And so that should have been that 2nd touchdown. It really should have been. But yes, I think the 2 touchdown streak ends, which hurts. But a better streak is he still scored 2 touchdowns. They just weren't 2 passing touchdowns. And now the 49ers have scored over 30 points in 8 games that Brock Purdy has started, 8 out of 11. And that's with the Eagles game in there. So you're talking about somebody that just continually puts up 30 points. And so whenever you're looking at the scoreboard, the Niners won 30-23. The over-under was like right at 45. So you eclipse that. But if the Niners offense is just going to be, their baseline is going to be around 30 points, they just showed today, you could have a killer half against the 49ers and score on every single possession. Doesn't matter. You're still going to be down multiple scores going into the end of the game. because when the defense struggles, the offense picks it up because they have been that consistent so far. So, and then we got to talk some Jake Moody. What were your thoughts on Jake Moody, Clayton?
Man, I just remember being at that draft show and the reactions and the vitriol. It was, I think, a little blown out of proportion. And I gotta say, hats off to the guy. I mean, I'm kind of about the same age as him, and I can only imagine finally getting to like your big goal, right? Getting to the NFL, you've made it, and then immediately you go on social media. God, I hope that guy doesn't have social media, and just seeing all of the hate and all of the naysayers coming out and be like, why would you spend a third round pick on him? And then that first game when he was missing left and right and all over the place, it's awesome to see him really start to hit his stride here in the beginning of the season. And I think he had a fantastic game, save for that one kick that did go out of bounds on the kickoff there.
And this is part of being a rookie, is you're going to do some of those things. So first off, the game starts off, or we got the ball first, but we go down, score a touchdown, and then he does the first kickoff for the 49ers. It's through the end zone. It was awesome. I was just like, yay. Like, Mitch Wisnowski should not be kicking off. It should be him, but he was injured. And so it was like, yes, now we don't have to worry about teams getting amazing field position against our defense to start. Then the second kick goes out of bounds. They start on the 40-yard line. That's the equivalent of a 15-yard penalty, similar to what Dre Greenlaw got, right? Like, it just makes a difference. But on the positive side, which is the most important thing, kid nailed a 57-yard field goal at a crucial moment. And so he goes 3 for 3 on field goals. He makes every single extra point. And so, yeah, if we could consistently get that type of production from him, that's 12 points. You won by 7. If you missed one of those field goals, then you're talking, the Rams could have went for a touchdown to tie the game late. But I do also want to say Sean McVay is a better. He needs to be he needs to be investigated by the NFL, because that dude kicking a field goal late to cover the spread, 100% chicken shit move. That's all I'm going to say. That dude put some money.
Speaking of betting, though, I got another super chat that I want to get to right here. It's from Isaac. He writes, "Hey, John, thanks for the Jennings bet." And he's given us back your share here, John.
I love it, Isaac. Yeah, we put our bets out. Last week we went 9 for 11. This week I think we went 8 for 11. We did really, really well. So, bets that we hit on, 49ers score on the first drive, paid. Stafford over 33 pass attempts, paid. Stafford over half an interception, paid. Juwan Jennings over 14.5 receiving yards, paid. CMC over 65 rush yards, paid on the second drive. We even did the over 43.5. We got paid on that one. 49ers start fast. We called that. And we hit our 3-team teaser. We took 49ers, Seahawks, Ravens, all 3 of them covered. So, yeah, if you bet with us, I haven't figured out what the ones we lost. The ones we lost, because I want to call those out too. Purdy, 2 touchdowns over. That one didn't hit. 49ers -7. That was a push, so we didn't get paid, and we didn't lose. And Kittle, a touchdown. That's what we missed. So we got some. We definitely made profit again, which, we're just going to keep charging those up. Now, let me say this, and this is huge. If you haven't joined us for MyBookie yet, I don't know what you're thinking, because we're posting profits, baby. That's what we're doing. So real quick word for MyBookie, because, man, if you haven't started betting with us, make some money. It's more fun. Aaron Rodgers' season is officially over, but yours has just begun with MyBookie. NFL, college ball, brand new cash out system that gives you the best options to win all season long. You hit the first 2 legs of your parlay, guess what? You can cash out early, place another bet, or let it ride for a bigger payday. Join us the entire season at mybookie.ag, or you can scan the QR code right next to me. The link is in the description of this video and or podcast, however you're watching or listening. But right now, MyBookie has a no-strings-attached cash bonus that lets you deposit and withdraw quick. Use promo code 49ers, 49ERS, on your first deposit of $50 or more, and you can receive up to $200 in cash instantly credited to your MyBookie account. That's 49ERS, that's the promo code, to claim your bonus now. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, and I mean anywhere. You can bet anywhere. I've lived in California for 8 years. Bet anywhere. I mean it. Head over there with MyBookie. All right. Now, one thing that is interesting, and I got completely wrong. I said in our predictions episode that Aaron Donald was going to get his, but you can't let him dominate the game. Now, I don't know if you have checked the box score,
I'm
but
looking
there's
right
somebody's name that did not register a single stat.
Yeah.
And his name is Aaron Donald.
I don't see him on here.
He did not show up. He didn't show up. He did absolutely nothing. Not one tackle, not one tackle for loss, not a pass to flip, not a quarterback hit, nothing. So hat tip because he was moving all over the place. But Spencer Burford, who had a terrible game last week, he had several snaps against Aaron Donald, no issues whatsoever. So, it's funny because people kept emailing me, what the heck's going on with Nick Bosa? Where's Nick Bosa? Nick Bosa was balling out. He drew 2 holding calls. I want to make sure I get this right. He drew 2 holding calls. He had 3 tackles. He had the tackle for loss on 4th down. He had 3 quarterback hits. Did he get the sacks? He did not. Did the Niners get pressure earlier? They did not. But when that game came in the second half, Bosa took part on 3 of those drives, ending. And again, I know we love sacks. It's our favorite stat in the world, and I want him to have sacks as well. But the impact of the game is what's important. Donald didn't impact shit. Nick Bosa, he showed up. Is he, leading for Defensive Player of the Year this year like he is last year? No, he has 0 sacks after 2 games. I don't even think he's, in the top 10 of that. We'll have to see. Hopefully something comes down the stretch. But to say Bosa didn't play well, that is incorrect. That's factually incorrect. And if you want to put your money where your mouth is and all that stuff, we break down every single offensive, defensive, special teams play, all 3 angles of the all 22 end zone. We do that all week on our Patreon and the 49ers Rush. You can join us over there, Frank Gortier. We watch it all. And this is a short week now. I don't want to look forward just yet, but we're going to have a lot of film out the next couple of days. And that was a big reason why I didn't want to go to LA this week, because I didn't want to kill the podcast and make the podcast suffer flying back and forth, because we play Thursday. It's a short turnaround. And I think that this is going to be paramount for the Niners because, man, Clayton, tell me if I'm wrong, but the Giants came back and won that damn game today, didn't they?
They surely did.
They were down 28-0 and came back and won 31-28 over the Cardinals. And so the Giants go from looking like the worst team in the NFL to getting a win. Now they're, coming to us. And we'll be favored by a considerable amount. Can you look up, Clayton, the 49ers Giants spread whenever you get a chance? Because I think that's something I want to see. And I know there's a bunch of comments coming in. We'll get there. Big Papa, my man, the best ever. He says, how much do you think LaFleur being the OC affected his game with the knowledge of Kyle's system and all that stuff? Well, offense was incredible. So if you want to talk from, LaFleur going against our defense, that's one thing. But him knowing Kyle's system on offense had nothing to do with it. I mean, we had 350 yards. I'm going to refresh this. It's going to play a stupid ad, which I hate. We had 365 yards offense. So that's not top notch or anything. But when you don't turn the ball over, and whenever you go 3 for 5 in the red zone, which is pretty good, it's not amazing, but it's better than average, 60%. You put up points. You put up 30 points, 365 yards. That's a win for your offense. Did you find what the spread is next week?
Oh, I surely did. We're favored by 10 points.
Yeah. And it's a Thursday game, which is weird. They're coming off a red hot. I know Saquon Barkley, I saw he left the game. He was injured. So I don't know what that is. We'll dive into that as we get there. But Clayton, let's go through some more comments. I've got a bunch of notes here, but I'd rather this conversation be dictated by you guys. So if there's a topic or a player or something that one stressed you out or you think needs positive attention, throw that up in the chat. Clayton will be pulling some of those up for us right there. Oh, what's up? I'm nobody you need to know. Thank you for the super chat. Nakua did really well against us. Yes, he did. But 10 to 15 short curl routes in a game is going to get him killed by midseason. He's already getting up half dead. He was injured before he played us. And that dude just got hit and hit and hit and hit. You could tell what the Niners' entire plan. We had 15 catches, 147 yards on 20 targets. He had 20 targets. To put that into perspective, the 49ers threw the ball 25 times. I knew that the Rams would have to throw a lot to make this a game. They had 55 attempted passes. You don't win games like that, especially whenever you throw 2 interceptions. That's huge. But yeah, you got to give props to him, the rookie, breaking all kinds of records, and hope you got him in fantasy. If you do, great. And, I liked him. I was pretty high on him coming out of BYU. And, he's Kai Nakua's brother, who was with the 49ers in the practice squad, I think 2 years ago. So yeah, that's props to him. Props to him. Now, I do want to say, and I think that this is important whenever we're talking about wide receivers, we haven't talked about Ayuk.
Yeah.
Ayuk went the very first drive, something happened, neck, shoulder area. There's something around there. Big Papa says, Clayton, at the appropriate time, any word on Ayuk's injury?
I've seen anything, but we're watching.
Yeah.
We've got some speculation in here. I see a lot of people talking about potentially like a pinched nerve up in the neck or something like that. Of course, we're not doctors, so we're not going to diagnose him right now. But yeah, we'll definitely be looking out for that.
We'll keep checking that out. But, I've been in that situation before. It hurts. And, it happens and you immediately think like, oh, man, it's all broke. And then after a while, just the sensation relaxes. But if you keep taking hits, it compounds. And so this is an MRI issue. So what they'll do is they'll go in and get an X-ray. The X-ray will probably be negative, but that doesn't show anything, ligament, tissue, nerve damage, or anything like that, just bones, right? Again, this is my own speculation based on what usually happens in this situation. Usually start with the X-ray. That'll be negative. Tomorrow you get an MRI once, everything calms down. That's a longer process. It takes a while to get the results and all those things, and then you'll see from there. But my assumption is he's going to be okay. He's going to be questionable for this week. And so it's how it responds. The fact that he kept going back in over and over again and playing, that's a positive sign. It's a lot more of a pain issue. And if there's swelling to where it limits you from extending your hands up, a lot of times you extend your hands out just fine after those, but lifting up, that is where the pain comes in. So again, speculation just based on, coaching and playing for so long and being around shoulder and collarbone issues. But the fact that he kept going back in, my assumption is I bet they got an X-ray at the half. And, that's what it is. Ishmael says, Warner might be a little hurt, John. Saw him grab, one of the last tackles. I saw Debo do the same thing. It's football. It's football. And so you got to wait and see. And, Warner, that dude is the captain of my captain. We used to always say how Bosa was that. He's no longer a captain. The holdout, he didn't get the votes from the teammates. And I'm not trying to throw like shade on Bosa, but Warner is Warner. Like that dude runs everything. Bosa's not getting sacks. Guess who got the only sack in the game? Fred freaking Warner. So we'll see. Warner hasn't missed much time. And it would be rough if he is out. There's no doubt about that. But how do I say this? You look at our schedule, next 2 weeks, you're home for 3 straight weeks. All right. It's the Homestead. You're at home versus the Giants on Thursday. So any player that's somewhat questionable, you keep them out. That is not a divisional game. It is a conference game. And then they get the long bye week, come back against the Cardinals. Then you got the Dallas Cowboys. So if you're ranking those 3 games importance, it is Arizona 1 divisional game, but Dallas is right there too, because I think Dallas is probably the next best team in the NFC alongside the 40. I put Dallas ahead of Philly with how they played. So like you've got Dallas and the Cardinals are most important, Giants way down the ladder. So something to keep an eye on. Injuries are always a thing, and you never want to just like, you'll be fine, play through it. But I'm telling you right now, if Warner can be out there, that dude is a madman. He is a warrior. It's going to be tough to keep him out. That's all I'm saying. So let's keep these questions. Yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of Thursday, we're going to be there, yeah?
We sure as heck are, and I am so excited about this. Here's just a little bit of the details. Here, we're going to be in Blue Lot number 1, which now it's only Blue Lot 1. They shrunk it. We're going to be right by the Democracy Way exit. And again, go get your tickets, 49ersrushroadtrip.com. We're going to be having an awesome time. All kids getting free with the ticketed adult, unlimited drinks, beer, liquor, seltzers, waters. We're going to have food. We're going to have competitions. We're going to be doing all kinds of stuff, giving stuff away, having a good time. We got TV set up. We got music. It's going to be a great time. The wifey's going to be out there for this one.
What?
So, yeah, I'm excited about this because she doesn't get to come out on the weekend. She always works. But, yeah, if you're around, come hang out. 49ersrushroadtrip.com. Every home game, we're doing this. But this first one's going to be special because it's the home opener. I know Thursday's rough. And if you want to come help out, and let me say this is something that I don't do a good job of. We don't do this to make money. It's nice if we make money, but that's not the goal. The goal is community. So if you are financially strapped, but you want to hang out, email me, 49ersrushpodcast at gmail.com. Come work. Come help us. Come set up. Come cook for us. I need a cook for this week. We got to cook for 5 out of 7 of our tailgates. We're doing brats and dogs and all kinds of fun stuff. So if you want to run the grill, you want to help with that, man, we would love to have you. So do not allow finances to be something that keeps you away from the community. I will cover it. That's not what we do. If you have money, we would hope that you support because it costs a lot to throw these big old parties. But, yeah, come set up. Tailgate opens 3.5 hours before kickoff. And so, if you want to set up, be there right when the tailgates open. That would be huge. And then once we get everything rolling, we'll get going, and food, music, all kinds of stuff. It's going to be a blast. But, yeah, we got to get set up and get everything ready to go. I take care of everything. I just need awesome people like Matthew and Big Papa and all these great people to show up and party with us. And so, yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Email us if you have any questions or concerns about stuff. But let's get back to the game. Let's do this. Let's talk more stuff.
Yeah, we got Flynn here with a nice super chat. Thanks, Flynn. He writes another Purdy 30. Man, John, we got a top 10 quarterback. Feels great, baby.
Okay. If we look at Brock Purdy, this was not even close to his best game. Not even close. I mean, the misses, and there were probably about 4 or 5 throws. Yeah, 3 missed deep balls minimum. Yeah, you had the 1 to Ayuk touchdown. You had the 3rd and 8 to Jennings, which would have been about a 15-yarder. Completion would have been a first down, was open. Great route by Jennings. And then you had the freaking Debo touchdown. So those 3 for sure. But here's the difference between Brock Purdy. The local game here, I had Red Zone on one TV, and then I had the local game on the other TV, which was the Raiders and the Bills. Jimmy G came out, and again, I love Jimmy G, but I'm trying to set up where we were in the past to where we are now. Jimmy G goes out there, amazing open drive. He's throwing darts and lasers. It's incredible. Then 2 more interceptions. Team's out of it by halftime. Game was over because of the mistakes and the turnovers. That's why. It's not because Jimmy was wasn't making good throws. But now you look at Brock Purdy, how many of the passes he threw today were interceptable balls that were put into jeopardy? The rule is whenever you coach quarterbacks and you're throwing the deep ball, if you're long, you're never wrong. Because, look, if I'm throwing a deep ball and I overthrow you, bummer, we got to punt. If I underthrow you or lead it too far inside to the safety, now that's an interception, a whole different ball game. So if I had to grade Brock Purdy on this game, it's a B+. I mean, he went 17 for 25. That's solid. 206 yards, all right. No touchdown passes, no interceptions. That's kind of the thing. He did have the rushing touchdown, but he had a 93.1 rating. That's winnable football when you have guys like CMC and Debo and all those things. And so, was this a great Brock Purdy game? No, it wasn't. But he's not losing it. And I think that's one of the things that separates and makes this team what it is.
Yeah, absolutely, John. And I mean, really, you said it. When you look at the turnover battle, you win 2-0, you're going to be in a good spot to win the games. And yeah, I mean, Brock's just limiting turnovers. He's making plays, within himself. He's not making super crazy throws. If he had a couple of those, man, I shudder to think how early I would have turned that game off. It would have been over in the third quarter.
Yeah, and I mean, Steven, I love this comment. If that's a bad Brock Purdy game, if that's the bottom bar, that's fine. You just don't have to lose it. It was very similar. Well, the game flow with how close the game was till the end was similar to the Dallas game. I know the Dallas game was a lot less points, but how close the teams were the whole time was the same. And what did Brock do? He just steady wins the race, and he let Dak lose the game, and you let Matt Stafford lose the game. And so you don't cost your team. And does that make him a top 10 quarterback? I don't know. But I can tell you this right now. I'm not sure there's 10 quarterbacks I would rather have than Brock Purdy as my quarterback. It's a perfect fit. And I think one of the coolest things ever, right before the half, 49ers are down 10-17. They take a couple shots in the end zone, and they don't get in. And there's barely 1 second left on the clock because Brock hesitated too much and then lobbed it out of bounds on nonchalant. If that thing was in the air for another half count, you're walking out of that end zone into halftime down 7 points instead of tied. But Shanahan freaking put on the big boy pants, and everybody's like, man, he needs to be more aggressive. Needs to be 1 second left. You quarterback sneak it. You don't get it. That's huge. So I got to say, you have Shanahan who trusts his quarterback. And so this allows Shanahan to be Kyle. You invest all this stuff and allow your head coach to have unlimited reign in personnel and coaching and whatever. Now you allow him to be him because you have Brock Purdy. When Trey Lance was back there, he was hesitant. When Jimmy G was back there, he was hesitant. That dude's not hesitant anymore. Like, not even a little bit. If you look at, what was it? Here we go. If you just, I mean, how do you go out there? It's not a fourth down play, but it sure as hell felt like it with 1 second because it was it. You either get it or you don't.
Yeah.
And so I think that's huge. Shout out to Daryl in the super chat. He said, awesome win today, family. Thanks, JC and crew. Man, first place, baby. If you walk away from this video, which we're not done, first place. The 49ers are in sole possession of first place. That's it. So you've got 49ers 1, 2-0. Then you've got the Rams at 1-1. They're 1-1 in the division. Then you got Seattle at 1-1. They won in overtime. 0-1 in the division. And then you got the Cardinals who are 0-2. And so pretty much what we thought, except we thought the Seahawks would be a little bit higher. We'll see. Their defense is an absolute joke. It's pretty damn hard to win in the NFL without a defense. And yeah, Chad, 2-0 Road Warriors. It's not like we're just 2-0. You remember everybody telling us how hard it is to go win in Pittsburgh? Nah, it wasn't that hard. Oh, you know how hard it is to win on the road in a divisional game? Oh, that's hard. I don't know about that. You are 9-0 against the Rams the last 9 regular season games. I understand they won the NFC Championship, but if you put that in there, all right, cool. You're 9-1 in your last 10 games against Sean McVay, who in my opinion is a top 4 head coach in the NFL. Pretty damn good. Put it into perspective. And I know a lot of people are going to focus on the defense, and a lot of people are going to focus on the missed throws, and rightfully so. Attention needs to be given to those. But good gosh, if you're not putting attention on first place, 1-0 in the division, we have now won. Man, I don't know what it was the previous season. Well, I guess we lost the NFC Championship. We're 8-0 in our last 8 division games. 8-0. That is complete domination. I mean, hang your hat on that, ladies and gentlemen. That is huge. A complete NFC West domination, and you just beat what looks like the second best team in the NFC West. And the next time you play them, you got a while. It's week 18 in Santa Clara, January 7th, unless they flex it. We'll be at that one. But let me just tell you this. The Rams' depth is the worst in the entire NFL, and it's not close. It's not close. And so them week 2 and them week 18, different things. I'm not sure if Stafford's going to be the quarterback there week 18, even if he's healthy, because we'll see. We'll see. But we'll deal with that when we get there. Let's get to some more comments, Clayton. Oh, Clayton left. Yeah, that's okay. Just pull up whatever you got. I want to make sure we grab these. Thank you so much. His cat jumped on the computer. I saw it, man. That was hilarious. She even did
Man,
the
he's
super
pushing
chat.
he's pushing all sorts of buttons, man.
She
Unbelievable.
lit up the super chat, so she did something right. Roberto, thank you so much. Last second field goal was a non-competitive play. That dude, that's rough. You can't do that. The rule is you're down 10 points. As soon as you're in field goal range, you kick the field goal so you can onside kick it, then go for whatever else. That was 100% trying to make himself look better. I guess moral victories are important for people that are Rams fans. I don't know what Rams fans look like. Hey, man, shout out to the faithful. Complete red out, which I knew it was going to be. Everybody knew it was going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look at Graham. What's up, eh? He says, looked like it was 80% 49ers fans, but they seem quiet at times. Well, if you've never been to SoFi, they pipe in noise. And so the NFL, you're not allowed to pipe in noise within the 15 seconds of the game clock, but they do the rest of the damn time. And so, I mean, I remember when I went to the Coliseum and saw my first USC game, and they had to pipe in noise, and I was like, what the hell is this? Texas, we don't do that. That's Bush League stuff. But LA, they do what they got to do. I know some USC people are pissed off right now, but if you got to mic up your band and pump that through the speakers, I'm just telling you right now, that's a red flag area where I come from, man. Anyway, hook 'em horns, go Niners. Come on, man. Go. That's fake. That's Fugazi. Get that noise out of here, man.
Speaking of Grand Day, here he is again. Thanks for the super chat. Purdy's first game without 2 touchdowns in the regular season, but he kept his cool and he made the plays he needed to make. I couldn't have said it better myself.
I mean, it's just leadership and being calm. The rushing touchdown, that quarterback sneak was huge. You walk away from every single almost possession, almost throw, and you just feel more confident. And I think Purdy does too. I mean, he was incredible that first half. It was such a clinic. It was Purdy and it was Stafford back and forth. And I don't know, man. You're not turning the ball over. And when you don't turn the ball over, that's huge. And especially when the defense now has forced 4 interceptions in back-to-back games. We led the NFL interceptions last year with 20. We were number 1. 49ers right now are on pace for what? I don't know, 34? Like, obviously, they're not going to have 34 interceptions. But whenever you're at this clip and you're turning the ball over the way you should have, and we probably should have had more. Greenlaw should have had one. There was another one that was dropped.
Gibson, yeah.
Yeah, Gibson should have had one. I think that's kind of key. Now, what's crazy is we've been going for a little over 30 minutes here, Clint. We haven't even said Christian McCaffrey's name.
No.
That dude came out in the first. Yeah. He's so damn good. Listen to these stats. 20 carries, 116 yards. Average 5.8 per carry. Had that 151-yard touchdown, which was awesome. 1 touchdown. Then you go through the air, 3 catches, 19 yards on 3 targets. That dude averaged over 6 yards per touch consistently for 23 touches. 23 had 23 touches. All of them were a success. Everything just steamrolls. Now, one thing that's crazy to me, Elijah Mitchell didn't even get in the game. No. He might have been out there on special teams, but it was close the whole time. And Kyle said, nope, I'm running CMC only. Debo got himself 5 carries. Brock Purdy had 3. So you got the 28 rush attempts, which usually 30 is the number. But when you play clean, that's all that matters. I mean, Debo got a rushing touchdown. Purdy got a rushing touchdown. And so did Christian McCaffrey, of course. I think that's huge. Now, I do want to talk about penalties because this continues to be an issue. Here we go. Hey, John, this is from AJ. What's good? Good win today. Just wondering your opinion about Dre Greenlaw and Juwan Jennings' personal fouls. Look, you get dogs. Dogs are going to be dogs. And those two guys are exact same on the spectrum. They are physically imposing, violent players that change the course of a game because if you are soft and you play against them, you hate your life for 3.5 hours. And Greenlaw made a lot of people hate their lives today. He made a lot of good plays. I personally thought that was a BS call. But Dre Greenlaw will never get the benefit of the doubt because of how violent and how physical he is at all times. The Juwan Jennings, he's getting fined. That dude, he killed a dude on a crackback block. And you saw Kittle on the broadcast view coaching up. Like, look, dude, this is what you got to do. You can't do that. And that was a huge penalty. Both those were huge. The Greenlaw one, maybe a coin flip penalty. Shouldn't have grabbed the leg at the end, but I don't know. That was a little overeager by the refs, in my opinion. And you saw the person that called the penalty, and then the refs talked. It seemed like all the refs were like, man, don't do that. Don't do that. But once the ref throws it, you got to stick with it. Greenlaw's not going to get fined. Juwan Jennings getting fined. He killed a dude. Illegal crackback block. You can't put your head in their chest on that blindside thing. It's just against the rules. You can slow down their momentum. You can hit them. But he killed that dude, and he got injured. I hope he's okay. That was dirty, dirty, dirty. I like dogs, and I like fight. I don't like what DK Metcalf does, and I don't like what Juwan Jennings did today. Now, it's okay to be that violent all the time, but you got to use your head. Because, one, you hurt somebody. There's no place in the game for that. There's a reason why that rule's there. But you could still hit them. You just can't kill them, and you didn't need to kill them. You could just slow down. We would have been in field goal range. And it wouldn't have come down to, what it was. But you pushed them back 15 yards and stopped the clock. That was the thing that pissed me off the most, is you gave them an extra timeout with that penalty. So, yeah, we got to get smarter with those things. You look at just the penalties in general. Each team had 6. They had 57 yards. We had 55. That's too high. 3 penalties, 25 yards. That's where you want the number to be. 3 penalties, 25 yards, because a lot of those penalties were huge, and you just can't do that crap. So, yeah, it's coaching. You're either coaching or letting it happen, and those things need to be corrected.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Bobo in here. McVay, such a jerk for that field goal. Man, poor guy lost $150 because of it, and he's still out here giving us a donation. We appreciate that, man.
Bobo, we appreciate you, man. I hate that he did that too. I started laughing when he did that. What a freaking cow. I love McVay. I really, really do. I think that he's a hell of a coach. I think he's a good dude. That was Bush League. So yeah, it lost some points in my respect department right there. That was. If you go for it, if you kick the field goal with like 40 seconds left, which they were in range, then you onside kick it and whatever, then it makes sense. You're competing. There was no competition in that. That was, I want to feel better about myself. And that's just coward stuff. That's participation trophy stuff. Like, get that shit out. Like, that doesn't belong here. So, yeah, no, that's bad. And again, I like McVay. I think he's incredible. That's terrible. Look at this, JP. Thank you, man. Silence of the Lambs. Yes, that is absolutely wonderful. Well said, man. Well said. And
absolutely,
they played better than everybody expected, but so what? It's a divisional game, and it's early in the NFL season. You still lost at home. You still had the opposing crowd show up and kick your own fans out. You piped in noise. You chant whose house when you have 20% of the stadium. Your coach is kicking participation trophies at the end of the game. Matt freaking Stafford looks so flustered at the end of the game. Aaron Donald, your all-franchise ever player, didn't record a freaking stat. Are you kidding me? Hey, congratulations. Your rookie undrafted free agent or 5th round wide receiver had a bunch of catches. Awesome. Take that shit home in your 1-on-1 record. We'll see you week 18. It's freaking, it's just ridiculous, this franchise. It mirrors the fan base. And not that there aren't good Rams fans. I know they exist. I've never seen them. But it's just like, at some point, you deserve each other, right? We have a coach that goes for it with 1 second left before the half. That's what we have, right? We have fan base that travels all the damn time. That's what we have. We are the faithful who invade your house and take your money.
Every time.
Every
single time.
Oh, man. I got this new shirt. What's up, man? I'm trying to show it. This is my Brock Purdy Blitz shirt from Homage, which I got to say this. And, I'm team nostalgia all the time. Like it's really my favorite thing. And they still, I cannot believe this. They still have their satin jackets, the starter satin jackets from back in the day. they are still up. So if you want to go grab one of those, I put my order in earlier this week. I can't wait to get mine. The link is in the description of this video and our podcast, so you can go check that out. A whole bunch of Niners gear. It's becoming all I wear anymore. It's just homage because it's all Niners. It's nostalgia. It's comfortable. And, man, a starter jacket. Anyway, I went on a whole rant last show, so I am going to try my hardest not to do that. But, yeah, you can check that out in the description of this video and our podcast if you would like to see that. Couple other things. Oh, here we go. I'll let you take this one, Clayton.
Yeah. Bobo, again, he's back. He writes, do you think that today's game shows that we are not really that good, John?
No, the NFL's hard. And the 49ers have blown everybody out. You covered the spread today, right? Well, you hit the spread. It depended on when you bet. It was 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, 7.5, 7. We got in at 7. So, that's what it is. But you won by 7. This is what Vegas said you should do. And we've been spoiled because the Niners have blown everybody out. And no, good teams find ways to win on the road. I don't think people understand how hard it is to win road divisional games. It's not easy. And the Niners took care of business. And so are the Niners going to go down in Super Bowl odds or NFC West odds? Or no, it's going to go up. Look across the NFL. Like, who else out there is just putting up dominating performances? Cowboys look pretty damn good, but who have the Cowboys played? We'll find out in week 5. We'll see what that looks like. But, I mean, there's just a lot of bad teams. You beat the Jets 30-10. That is a huge win by the Cowboys. That's a huge win. They don't have a quarterback. So, you want to look across the Eagles? Good Lord, they should have lost that game to the Vikings. They should have lost that game. 5 turnovers and almost lost. There's question marks there. Now, is Philly good? Hell yeah, they are. But I think there's 3 teams in the NFC right now that are competing. 3. Maybe the Falcons. I don't know. Falcons look pretty good. They're scrappy. Beat us last year. So you always have to look at things in relation to what's your competition. Our competition is the NFC West. We just beat the team that freaking dog walked the Seahawks the week before, and we know what the Cardinals are. So the question of, are we just not that good? We're better than everybody we need to be better than right now. The good news is we're not going into the playoffs right now. We're not a finished product right now. And all the Shanahan always starts slow crowd is somewhat right because this team ramps up. And if we're 2-0 and still ramping up, watch out. Chiefs are barely winning games or losing games, right? Like, what do you want to measure us against? The Bengals look broken. They look broke. And they've been in, 3 AFC championship games in a row or something like that? Maybe 2. Like that. So what's our competition? You got to measure who you measuring us against. The 1994 freaking 49ers? All right. Well, let's have that conversation. Week 2 or week 3 or 4 maybe in 1994 against the Eagles. We literally pulled our quarterback because we were getting beat by 30 points. And then we went on to win the Super Bowl. So perfection is not what the Niners are trying to attain. You are trying to win football games, 1, improve, and beat your opponents. And the Niners have answered that call not once but twice in back-to-back weeks on the road. So if you would have told me we'd be 2-0 to start, I'm taking that every damn day of the week. And, man, what'd you say? We're favored by 10 points next week, Clayton?
Yeah, 10 points.
Damn, that's a lot of points on a short week.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I might take it. I don't know. I can't wait to watch this week's film, and I can't wait to watch next week's film. Now, if you haven't yet, the number one way to support the show, it's right here, baby.
I am so excited to announce our new platform launched, the49ersrush.com. We've been active on Patreon for years, and we're still going to keep that community going, but the 49ersrush.com has everything Patreon offers and a bunch more. You want to watch player breakdowns? Guess what? You click that. It's filtered based on players. You want to see Javon Hargrave, what he brings, some CMC tape broken down, Ayuk, Jair Brown. We've got hundreds and hundreds of tapes on. Now, you want football 101. You want to learn scheme. Guess what? We've got every single offensive, defensive, special team snap. Head over to the 49ersrush.com, sign up, join the community, and plus we got a 7-day free trial. So
All right, head over there. If you join the Frank Gore tier, you get all the video breakdowns, the all 22 coaches tape, all that stuff from every play, offense, defense, special teams. If you want the bets of the week and you want the Zoom Hangouts, we're going to have our Zoom Hangout this month will be this upcoming Sunday. So a week from today, we play the Giants Thursday, then we don't have a Niners game Sunday. So we're going to get together and we're going to talk and we're going to reassess how the 49ers are after the first 3 weeks, all that stuff. That's Jerry Rice tier and above. So go check that out. We've got a vibrant community, well over 400 people joining us and supporting the show over there. And we got a 7-day free trial, so go check it out. All right, let's get to a bunch more questions. This is your show, so let us know what we want to talk about because I got more notes, but I want to hear from you guys first.
Yeah, we got Once Upon a Reset. He wants to know, who's our game MVP, John? I think I'm taking Isaiah Oliver. He's taking Moody.
Yeah, I think Isaiah Oliver, if I'm going player, 100%. I thought that he was great. If I'm going coach, I'm going Steve Wilkes.
Easy. Yeah.
You go from night to day or day to night, however you want to say that. You completely flip the script and you put your players in a position to make plays. And that's what I love. And so I'm going Isaiah Oliver on the offensive side. I think I'm going Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about Deebo this year, which not saying he never did it before, his adjustments when the ball is in the air have been unparalleled. That dude is making contested catches, fighting back for the ball, just being so aggressive at the catch point. I don't remember seeing that. I really don't. This year has been gigantic. Yeah, Kyle Shanahan, David, thank you. He says, I'm going Kyle. Offense was incredible. I think that's huge. Yeah, you did pretty damn well. Offensively, this was a pretty damn good game. No lie. 30 points.
Yeah.
You're golden.
I think on offense, John, I'd probably have to give Christian McCaffrey a shout. I mean, after that 51-yard rush, and here comes the cat again. Okay, you keep going, bro. Keep going. All right. But anyways, yeah, after that 51-yard rush, honestly, I felt like he kind of just was just doing his normal thing, and he ended up with 116 rushing yards and about 20 receiving yards. Like, that's insane to just be like, oh yeah, he just had his normal, he's just doing his thing. He's insane.
Yeah, I think too. You remember the Rams? They were the first team to do that 5-6 man front crap against us a few years ago. And so they came out the first 2 drives. Oh, we're just going to run our base defense. We're not going to overload the box. Christian McCaffrey, run up the middle for a touchdown was awesome. The 51-yarder was awesome. Then he came out on that 3rd drive and they said, nope, load the box. And that's when Kyle Shanahan and everything just started throwing the ball. And this was, again, I hate going back to this, but this is just where my mind goes. Brock Purdy versus pressure is calm, cool, collected. Our past quarterbacks, not so much. And so that you're trying to fluster the quarterback. Brock doesn't get flustered. Mark Sanchez, who's turning into one of my favorite announcers, which is crazy to say. Look at that. Little USC hate earlier, little USC love later. See that? Balance. But he said, they were commenting, when is this guy going to be flustered? And they're like, we keep waiting and expecting it. It just hasn't happened. And so, again, Kyle can do Kyle things. And it's totally just chill and just calm, cool, collected. Whereas in the past, and again, I got PTSD watching that Raiders game because it went to the good old, Jimmy G, what he does, where he's red hot or he's flustered and panicking and chopping his feet and just we don't have that anymore. There was no point, even with Brock Purdy, the good and the bad, of just feeling like, oh man, he's going to cost us this game. Did he miss opportunities? Yes. Is he 23-year-old? Yes. Has he even started a full season? No. I'm telling you, man, this kid, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I think anybody who's rooting for the Niners should be excited.
Yeah, I think so too.
Another player that's kind of flying under the radar. Not that we've been talking about players that have been flying under the radar, but it's Javon Kinlaw, John. He's for the second week in a row looked pretty good. Like, I mean, I didn't see, besides that one pass breakup that he had where he batted it down at the line of scrimmage, I didn't see anything super flashy from him. But I don't think we're looking for that 14th overall pick, flashy, crazy highlight reel plays anymore. We just want consistency from him. And he's a dude who's so easy to root for, John. So it's been fun to see him having a good start to his season here.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Just consistent, pushing things up the middle. Because when Kinlaw plays well, that means your linebackers are flowing. He got an awesome tip pass. He had 2 tackles. He had a couple pressures. But he's playing on the correct side of the offensive line the entire time. When you're moving that way, that's good for Kinlaw. And so now we're back-to-back weeks. Is he a game changer? Is he a 14th overall pick? Whatever, worth it? Whatever. That conversation does us no good. Does he make the 49ers better when he's on the field? And the answer is yes, especially when you saw the first 3 drives of this game, super long extended drives. And he was one of those guys that was spelling Hargrave, spelling Armstead, and you didn't see a huge drop down. Was it a great game? No. Was it a good game? Yes, I think so. Huge. Dave says Kinlaw's huge. The radar is broken if he's flying under it. Yes, thank you, Dave. Well said, man. Yeah, well said. Very, very good.
Funny.
Oh, look at this. I'll let you take this one, Clayton.
Yeah,
I got excited.
Sure.
I got excited.
I love this guy. Isn't he great? Nobody you need to know. McVay, he pulled another stunt like you'd see on the video games, John. He really did.
Bush League, baby. Bush League. Josh, thank you for the super chat. Really do appreciate that. And I don't know. I don't want to do that again. Andrew says the 32-minute drill at the end of the first, calm, cool, collected, looked like a guy with 10 years in the league. It's just, man, how do you not get flustered? And this dude just does not get flustered. And so, and again, do I want to blow every team out? Yeah, it'd be awesome if the Niners were, 30-10 or 30-7 every week. That would be great. But at some point, you need dress rehearsals for the playoffs, and there's going to be close games. The 49ers are going to lose games. Let me just tell you all that. They're a good team. The NFL, you lose teams. You lose to teams. And so even if we lost this game today, which was a very real possibility at halftime, that doesn't mean the sky is falling. It's the NFL. They're professional teams in a salary cap strapped league that creates balance and parity. So because it was close for a half, that doesn't mean the Niners are, bad or whatever else. It's the NFL. And so you're trying to improve. Perfection's not what you're going for. You're going for improvement. You're going for solidarity and cohesiveness as an offense. And I think some major strides were taken today. I really, really do.
Yeah, I think so too. I've got a good question here from Chad. He's writing to us, hey, John, I'm curious why Huff's playing more on the back end and they've got Gibson coming up closer to the line of scrimmage. He feels that Huff has more impact near the line of scrimmage. And I think through last year, I would probably be inclined to agree with him. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that they were pretty scared of Tyler Higbee, and they didn't want Gibson on Higbee. And so their whole philosophy seemed to be, Huff, if you can take away Tyler Higbee, then we'll allow these young pups, Atwell, and we'll allow Puka and all them. They'll do their thing. But if Stafford can't go to his tight end because you're taking him out of the game, which he did, by the way, that had that one huge deep throw and Hufanga just knocked the crap out of him and he dropped the ball. Higbee had 3 catches for 12 yards on 7 targets. So Hufanga checked that box. And the NFL is all about, look, there's something open on every play. A defensive scheme can be broke down. I don't care how good it is at any time. McVay, he's pretty damn good at what he does. So what is it that you're going to take away? And they chose to take away the tight end in the running game, which, they rushed 22 times for 89 yards. They should have ran the ball more. I don't know why they didn't run the ball more. They averaged 4 yards a rush, which is pretty good. against us. They should have ran the ball more. We ran the ball 28 for 159, which is 5.7 yards for 3 touchdowns. They got 1. But yeah, usually I like Hufanga up front closer more. But here's the issue. Hufanga's at his best blitzing. Matt Stafford is the best quarterback in the NFL against the blitz. That's where he has made his money. And so I know we weren't getting pressure early, but it was just a matter of time. And in the second half, we got pressures. We did. We got 6 quarterback hits. We got a sack. We got 2 picks. We got a tackle for loss. Like, we were playing in their backfield. It just took time to get there. It's just what it was. So now I will say this. Let's talk negative. Let's bring that one back in a second. Yeah. I thought this was Charvarius Ward's worst game since the Chiefs game last year. They were going right at him. He had 10 tackles because they just kept throwing it at him. He had a pass deflection early, and then after that, you could tell he was frustrated the whole time. And so I don't know. It was a little rough. I thought Demo played really well, but he gave up some underneath stuff too. I got several DMs like, man, Demo's trash. And I'm like, whoa, y'all talk about the wrong corner now, because his are at least contested catches, and he is physically fighting the whole time. They were throwing against Ward, and he just gave this huge cushion the whole time. I don't know. I want to see the all 22, because I'm wondering if they just rolled the safety over to what's his name side, Demo's side a little more or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. The broadcast view just makes it so difficult to see the back end. That's why the coach's tape is the coach's tape, because you can't coach when you can't see the safeties and what they're doing. But yeah, we'll see that. And also, man, Fred Warner, 11 tackles, 7 solo tackles. Fred Warner, 12 tackles, 10 solo tackles with the sack, with the tackle for loss, with the pass defense, with a quarterback hit. Yeah, Warner should get more love than what I think. He definitely should have been talked about in the MVP category as well.
Yeah, definitely. Debster, really appreciate the comment. She writes, hey, is this a wake-up call for this team? You know, we blow the Steelers away. We barely win against the Rams. Or should we just chalk this up to just a crazy divisional game?
Yeah, as a coach, it's pretty simple. As a coach, you use this. When you can walk away with a win and teaching tape, that's what I always call it. Like, there's teaching tape, man. Look at this, Juwan Jennings. You got to learn. You got to learn right here. Look at this, Charvarius Ward. You got to learn here. Brock Purdy. You got to learn here. So you got the W, which is your number one goal. But if you're the Niners, you're not walking out of there like, yeah, you got a hard divisional game. That's cool. But you're not happy with what's going on. So, yeah, it's both and. It is a crazy divisional game, but it better be used as a wake-up call. Look at Sin. It better be. Because it wasn't perfect. And you left a lot out there. So if you're going to play this way, you might be a 10-7 team, an 11-6 team. If you stay this level, you're still going to win games because you're that talented, you're that well coached. But there ain't nobody in the 49ers locker room. There's nobody in the chat room right now. There's nobody listening to this, on your morning jog or whenever you download this podcast that wants an 11-6 record. That wants a 12-5 record. That's how good this team is. And so, yeah, here's what you say. You say, hey, y'all better check yourself. Y'all bring that soft-ass football like this down you're going to get upset by the Giants on your home opener. You're going to be embarrassed at home if you play like this to start the first half. So, go home. You got one day off. It's a short week. We're going to freaking work our tail ends off this week. And then we're going to take care of our bodies the following week on our mini bye. But if you think you're getting time off and, whatever else and pats on the back, hell no. You don't deserve that. I think that's the way it's got to be approached. And the good news is you have such a strong veteran leadership. Trent Williams not happy with how this game went. Kittle's not happy. Warner's not happy. Bosa's not happy. You think Bosa's happy he has 0 sacks right now?
Oh.
No.
Not a chance.
So there's stuff to work on. There's stuff to correct. It's a wake-up call, but you did get the W against a divisional game, so kind of best of both worlds.
Yeah.
If I'm bright-siding this guy.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it.
For sure. Once upon a reset, this is kind of a fun hypothetical. John, would you take Jalen Hurts over Brock Purdy?
Yeah, I mean, anybody doing like quarterback ranks and all those different things, Jalen Hurts, I mean, you look at what he got paid and all that stuff. If they're at the same contracts, I'm taking Brock Purdy on his contract over Jalen Hurts and his contract. So look at that. Pulled a little sneaky one on you there. I'm staying with Brock Purdy and that 262 overall pick contract over Jalen Hurts and his contract, right? You see what I did? Yes, obviously Jalen Hurts would be the answer, but yeah, I pulled a little fast one. Just saying.
Here's Bolivar. He writes, hey, if we want to win the Super Bowl, Purdy's got to hit that deep ball. The Miami Dolphins, the Chiefs, the Bills, they can all score a lot of points real quick.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And so, like, okay, if we just look at the misses, that's one thing. But they weren't all misses. That back shoulder throw to Jawan Jennings in, like, the third or fourth quarter, like, yeah, we could talk about the misses, but there were some hits, too, that were deep balls. So it wasn't like they were all misses. And we saw him hit the back shoulder fade to Ayuk the week before. Like, it's not like Brock has never hit those. But, yeah, he did leave some out there. This game very easily could have been 37-17, which would have made us all feel a lot better. But it wasn't. And so, look, if you're Brock Purdy and if you're Brian Greasy, the quarterback's coach, and if you're Kyle Shanahan, yeah, you bet your ass you're going to be working those routes. Hey, we're putting a premium. It's a short week. We're putting a premium on these routes. We got to convert these because when we scheme it open, when a team comes up to stop the run consistently and stop the short and mid game, you got to take advantage. But the thing that's huge to me is he's slinging it. Do you guys not remember when we didn't have a one throw over 20 yards in like 4 games in a row? That's our past. And so now we have somebody that is at least attempting. He's young. He's 23. He'll get there. He'll get there. And so, again, Brock knows what to work on. They know what to work on. It's not like this has been a repeated behavior up to this point, but I love how greedy he is. I love that he's taking those shots. But, yeah, you need to connect on more than just 1 of 4. We'll have to see what the PFF stats say on 20-yard attempts and all that stuff. But I think it's probably 1 of 4 or 1 of 5. And so, yeah, you want to jump that up. But he did hit 1. And so that was awesome. Shout out to Jawan Jennings. That was freaking
crazy catch.
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible. So I think we'll get there. I really, really do. And so he scored 30 points, guys, on the road. On the road. That's a win. That's a W. Yeah, I want more. I want to be greedy too. Let's get to 1 or 2 more questions, Clayton, if you've got them starred, and then let's bounce out of here.
Absolutely.
Go ahead. Take it away, bud.
Let's do it. Let's see. Somebody's got to give me a good comment here. Here we go. I've got RTP in here. He's
What's
right
up,
to
Matthew?
The Giants.
Yeah,
He's
there
right
we go.
To the Giants. Hey, G-Men, thanks for taking care of the division lightweights. We see you. You might want to stay out of the West until Thursday.
Yeah, they're in Arizona. And so they were in Arizona. It was a crazy win. I'm sure they're staying all the way over here. But, man, that's not fun for them, back-to-back road trips, and they're beat up. I'll dive into all the Giants press conferences and stuff and let you guys know so you don't have to. But, man, yeah, I really do think not that this is a winnable game. You should mess them up. You really should. I think if you look through the first 6 quarters of the season, I think the Giants were the worst team in the NFL. They didn't score a point.
Yeah.
They were down 28-0 to the Cardinals. Came back and won, though, so you got to give them that. They're a little feisty. They are New York. But, yeah, they're not a good team. And we are a good team. They're 1-1. We're 2-0. They're coming to our house. We're going to party. I'm excited about that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And, yeah, man, this has been fun. Clayton, I want to say thank you. You know, we're going to be working our rear end off this week because it is a short week. And, again, if you want to come party with us at Tailgate, man, go grab your tickets, 49ersrushroadtrip.com. Going to be a lot of fun. You want to help out? Money's an issue. Reach out, email 49ersrushpodcast@gmail.com. Not that I can let everybody in for free. That's not what's happening. But community over profits any day of the week. That's what it is. So without further ado, Clayton, appreciate you. You're the freaking man. And to everybody else, man, 2-0. First place in the NFC West. Atop by yourself. By yourself. Like Clayton's cat on his computer. That's going to do it for us today. And until next time, stay strong, faithful.